got it. Okay, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We're going to get started. And Aviv is going to lead us in the name of Matov. Page 10.
Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Okay, we'll ask my bride to come up and light the candles, and on page 2 and 3. Read this. Okay.
Got it the first try.
Second try. Did you?
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Okay, page 6. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numerous generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door, and the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. And go to page 9. Please join me responsibly. These are the days when we seek things for ourselves and measure favor by what we do not gain.
On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share.
These are the days when we exploit nature as it was a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
These are days when we act as if we care nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty
So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. So to page 146.
Right. And we'll rise for the Baruch. Not sure what, it's all right, so the light's not on. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Vaed. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, have a seat. Page 147, Ariv Avarim. Let's see if I can find it here. Where am I? Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Through all things past, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Amen.
Mariv Aravim. On page 148. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al Kain Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu u'kumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratcha v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla ve'havatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Yisrael.
I ask you to please rise for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Page 150.
We can say it.
Am I gonna do this?
I'll do this.
The English? No.
I'll go ahead and do this. They're used to this. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol vavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavcha Hayom Alvavecha Veshinantam Levanecha Vedibarta Bam Beshiftecha Bevetecha Uvlechtecha Vaderech Uvshokbecha Uvkumecha Ukshartam Leot Al Yadecha V'hayu letotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai, vitem kroshim lelohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim leot lachem l'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet.
Page 151, please, responsible. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes there's a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come? Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. Page 153. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai. Um, 154, Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam u'beini ve'uvein b'nei Yisrael ot hi le'olam ot hi le'olam ot hi le'olam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
Page 155 through 158 as we open the ark. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agite hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevig Ula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Lezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Koholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umidomela, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Bneman atah lachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol, Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom ya'alu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh.
Page 160. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai
Kadesh HaShabbat.
163. Responsibly. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulecha na'el hodot.
Page 164, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Israel Amka, Tasim Leolam, Tasim Leolam, Tasim Leolam.
Page 253, Mishabera. We read the list of we have here. Dave Turkelman, Leonard Glazier, Jim Todd, Larry Goldman, Rich Goldman, Donna Gould, Mike Sheehan, Maggie Barbini, pardon if I didn't say that right, Brad Parkins, Aaron McEvan, Terry Anderson, Gerald Barron, Evelyn Waddell, and Rivka Fermet. So, anybody have other names they would like to add, please say them as I point around the room.
Justin McDaniel, Jen Grove, Cindy McDonald, Sumner.
Linda Adelson Strong, Justin Strong. Page 253.
Mishebera avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebera imotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Now we need to take a moment of prayer, of a silent prayer, whatever's in your heart, mind, of your own choosing.
Say shalom, bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom, bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom, bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. Seems that every time that Rabbi is off, she leaves me with a really cool parsha, so I can't complain in the least. I didn't realize what a neat thing this particular one was. And I went to all my usual sources. Now, the last time I ended up using Rashi, who was about 1,100 years ago, but as some people here know, I'm a huge fan of the late Chief Rabbi of Israel, Jonathan Sachs. His commentary is just at a completely different level. And Rabbi herself said that, you know, he went to a level that most people didn't. One thing I found out is he was friends with the Lubavitcher Rebbe, which surprised me, but maybe it shouldn't have. What the Parsha is Vayigash. This is the story, if you remember, you know, Joseph had been sold into slavery by his brothers. And he spent years in an Egyptian prison and then as a slave. Well, he was first a slave and then he was put in prison. But he was released because he was able to interpret the dreams of the Pharaoh, and he rose to the point where he was the Pharaoh's right-hand man. Well, back where in his home area, famine had already hit. The brothers, most of the brothers that were left, came to ask for help. And they came before Joseph. They didn't recognize him because they sold him as an adolescent. And here is this full-grown man with a beard, but he sure recognized them. Now, when I say almost all of them, there was one that was left behind, and that was Joseph's full brother, Benjamin, because Benjamin was also the son of Rachel, who was Jacob's favored wife. He was pretty hard at first. He asked, "Is this all of you?" And as they came to beg, they said, "Well, no, there is one who is much younger than we are." And they told him how their father had lost the oldest son, and if anything were to happen, this youngest child, they were afraid that he would just die of grief. Joseph arranged for, basically told them that if they did not come back in full, that he was not going to grant their request. They had to go back and get Benjamin. Joseph, of course, arranged for a silver cup to be placed in his backpack so he would have an excuse to detain Benjamin. Judah, who was the one who initially had proposed first killing Joseph, but later on was persuaded by Reuben, just sell him into slavery, let's not shed blood. But they pulled the deception on their father. He said, "Take me instead. This will kill our father. I will become a slave. I will do whatever you want. Do not take this child." Joseph did not give Benjamin back. He sent his brothers back to bring Jacob. Well, Jacob wouldn't come. They had to return. Now, in the meantime, in private, Joseph revealed to Benjamin who he was. But he hadn't said anything yet. Well, once Judah reappeared in front of him, this is where the lesson of the Parsha comes in. The same one who wanted to get rid of Joseph was the one that was willing to offer his own life in favor of his younger brother. It was this change, this penitence, for what he had done, and the fact that he felt like he needed to do anything to protect his youngest brother, led Joseph to finally break down and let his brothers know who they were. And his brothers were, of course, ashamed. Joseph said that he forgave them, that it was for them not to be too upset, because it was God's will for him to be in a position in Egypt to be able to help his family. And that was the only way it could have happened. Then they went and they were able to go get Jacob and the rest. And he told them to bring all of the people down, and he would take care of them with food and what have you. Now, why is this, again, this theme of forgiveness? Why is it? Forgiveness happens all the time. What's the big deal? And this is what Rabbi Sachs said. That to me was very powerful. It was the first instance in the Torah of forgiveness. Until then, there had been no instance in the Torah of the act of forgiveness. Now, there was another thing that was interesting. Joseph became like a king, but the two tribes because his sons were Manasseh and Ephraim, they didn't survive, whereas Judah, the one who had the oldest, became the ancestor of kings. Well, that seems kind of weird. Now, Rabbi Sachs explains this. One who repents and comes back to righteous living is even in a more special place than one who is righteous. Therefore, with his act of penitence, Judah became the ancestor of King David, King Solomon. So we have two lessons here. First of all, the power of forgiveness, that no matter what happened, Joseph was able to change his thinking to realize that he was here for a reason. Not everyone can do that, but it is a powerful lesson. And the other thing is that you can always change if you really want to. If you want to become a better person, it doesn't matter. And at that, I'm going to take my leave of the great late Rabbi Sachs, and we're going to continue with the remarks, or the announcements, or whatever they're called.
I want to thank Aviv because I was just prepared to read a few passages from the Bible. He gave a very good speech. Thank you. Let's see. I have a couple of pages of announcements here. If I leave anything out, speak up. Saturday morning, that's tomorrow, 10:30 services. Because you're here tonight doesn't mean you can't come tomorrow now. You're allowed to come both times. Sunday is New Year's. The temple office will be closed until until Tuesday, January the 3rd. Monday, the 2nd, though, we're having bingo as usual, 6 p.m. And if anybody would like to join us, we could choose a few more volunteers. But we've been doing real well, thanks to John and to Ed Gould, thank you, and the rest of them that have been helping. No Shush Shabbat, January the 6th, with Benji Burlow and the rabbi. And I'm going to put my 2 cents in. Carolyn and I have come to a lot of the No Shush Shabbats where the kids are not necessarily bad, but they're not necessarily sitting and behaving very well. And we've enjoyed it. And I think you don't have to have kids, grandkids, great-grandkids to come for the No Shush Shabbats. Sunday, January the 8th, Men's Club has a breakfast, RSVP to John Stiletto or Mark Epstein or the temple office. Let's see. Okay. Friday the 13th, 6:30, that's the services. And Saturday the 14th, 10:30, is Martin Luther King's Shabbat services. And we have a guest speaker, Gregory Rahming. I think I'm saying it right, R-A-H-M-I-N-G, Rahming. And if you're planning to attend that, they're going to have an oneg afterwards, and let the office know that you're coming, because they'll know how many people to prepare for. I think that's got that. Okay. Now, where's my list? Here we go. 282, I'm sorry, for Elenu, and the ark is open, and please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teikdula le'otzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu k'kol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notesh shamayim veyosed haaretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim mimal, ushchinatu zo, begavei meromi. Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efesulato, Kakatuv Betorato, Yadata Hayom, Lehashevota Elevavecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, Bashamayim Mimal, Ve'al ha'aretz, mitachat ein od, page 287. Ve'ne'emar haya Adonai, lemelech al kol ha'aretz, bayom ha'hu,
Turn to page 294. Oh, wait a minute, I'm wrong. No. 289, I'm sorry, 289. And, section 3. The light of life is finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more.
In light we see,
In
in
light
light
we are seen. Flames
Flames
dance,
dance,
and the light burns down and gutters. This is the end to the flames. We see no more, and we no more seen. We do not despair, for we are more than a memory, slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal circle of darkness and death, of life, light and life.
This is going to be an unusual Kaddish. And why? Because last week we were not able to meet and recite Kaddish for people last week. And we felt that it was important to do so. So I've got a rather long list starting with last week. If any of you are here who have a yard site, please stand if you so desire. I'm also going to read a few extra names for people that there is no one to mourn for them. Some of them are people we knew, some of them are people that are long gone and their names are on the plaques, but they deserve it as well. So from last week, Benjamin Bear, father of Benjamin Bear, Millie Feynman, aunt of Robin Unger, Joseph Gaffin, father of Elaine Cummings, Eunice P. Gersh, mother of Wesley Gersh, Rose Hansen, friend of Sheila Steinman Wallace and my adopted aunt. I called her Aunt Rose. John Hertzfeld Jr., father of Susan Glazer, grandfather of Katie Hurt. Morris Kay, grandfather of Karen Bloom. Lena Kellner, aunt of Esther Brown. David Klein, father of Ruth Honigberg, grandfather of Carrie Hatch. Lottie Michelle, mother of Joan Epstein. Zahava Naamani, my own mother. Marilyn Waterman, mother of Ann Waterman. Meyer Diamond, Max G. Morris, Jacob H. Simons, Julia Venetianer, Gail Zaman, Florence Rona. And we're in the Shloshim for Andrew Venetianer. For this week, we have Riva Carrico, wife of Alan Carrico, Jeffrey Charnas, father of Mark Charnas, Leslie Cohen, father of Cindy Phelps, Rose Epstein, grandmother of Karen Bloom, Lana Fields, sister of Sheila Tasman, Eve Hertzfeld, mother of Susan Glazer, grandmother of Katie Hurt, Natalie Jackowitz, grandmother of Rabbi Beth Jackowitz Chotner, Julian Kolotkin, grandfather of Laurie Holbrook, Herman Landau, friend of Sheila Steinman Wallace, Ruth Levine, mother of Jeffrey Levine, Harold Levine, father of Jeffrey Levine, Lionel Levinstone, father of William Levinstone, grandfather of Laurie Holbrook, Hilda Price, grandmother of Ruth Honigberg, Bella Steinman, grandmother of Sheila Steinman Wallace, Daniel Title, brother of Robert Title, Moritz Blyer, Fanny D. Heimson, Walter Kratz, Moses Master, Deborah Singler. And we take these people into our hearts as we recite Kaddish for them. Please rise. We're on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyom echon, uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, בעגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם לעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה. דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
I'd like to take a second to thank Aviv for all he does. He got me through the service. And also Laurie for working the electronic magic over there. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We will have Motzi and
We're going to do a closing song, the one we seem to do the most, but the last two times I tried to stop doing it, I was told, I'll knock it off. Beam, beam, bum, beam, 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 bum, beam, 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 bum, beam, bum, beam, 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 bum, beam, 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 bum. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Beam, bam, beam, 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 bam. Beam, 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 bam. Beam, bam, beam, 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 bam. Beam, 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, y'all. I tell you what, you took a